What up, girl?
Hello, Nurse. And that's a throwback to the Animaniacs for you 90s kids.
Oh my god. Even when I was a kid and I watched that show, I knew it was too sexual and I didn't get anything.
Yeah.
I didn't get any of that show. Everyone's like, I love that show. And I was like, I'm a late bloomer and I don't understand it.
As a gay child, I was like, this is equal parts not interesting and somehow problematic.
Yeah.
I can't quite process how, but it's like
Right.
it's like when you have the cartoon wolf with the eyes that pop out. It's like a wooga. Very funny as a child.
Oh my god.
But somehow undeniably problematic.
Okay, totally not relevant, but so as you know, my partner was not born in this country and coming here as like a tween, the first movie
What are
they
you trying to
saw
brag? No, I'm just kidding.
fucking brag.
Yeah.
And the first movie they saw here, like they really like had like a VHS of was Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh.
Have you watched that?
I
It is
mean,
dark.
only the scene
Yeah.
with Jessica Rabbit, because it's like obviously it's the origin story for so many burlesque performers. So like
Really?
yeah, I mean I could tell you so many animated movies that I have not seen except for the burlesque scene.
Oh my god, it's so dark, bro. Like the lead detective's an alcoholic whose brother was murdered. Like it's super dark.
Dang.
It's like it's like in the Great Depression. It's like it's just like, but it was a kids movie. Anyways, we recently rewatched it. Jessica Rabbit, man, that shit stands up. She's a babe.
She is. She is. Also, I just love that her name is Jessica Rabbit. Like she took his name when it's just like
Yeah.
super absurd. Like
Right.
it doesn't the name doesn't really suit her at all. It's just like Rabbit because she married a rabbit. I love that. And honestly work.
It does. It totally works.
Yeah.
So is it chilling? What's going on, girl? You look chilling.
Listen, when I get really busy, and it is show week, so I'm going to apologize in advance for my manic energy. When it is show week, and I start carving things out of my life that normally bring me joy for a couple of reasons. One, I need to stay on task. Two, I've got a lot of rhinestoning to do. So unfortunately,
Yeah.
like cramming rhinestoning. Remember how you used to like cram all-nighters when you had like midterms or something?
Mhm.
Now I just sit in front of the TV and glue stones onto costumes.
Yeah.
What is my
We've
life?
all been there.
So we've all been there. So I'm spending a lot of hours doing that. And then also I have body image issues. So I'm also like restricting my diet in ways that are definitely healthy, and we can talk about that offline. But I'm just like I'm carving things out of my life, and what the net result of all that is when I even feel a little cold, I'm like, I'm gonna put on a fucking jacket. I don't care. You know what I mean? It's just like
Because I can
aggressive.
control.
Yeah. Like we can't have it all because, and I'm wearing a jacket like in the middle of 70-degree weather. So it's not great, but just just hold me in your thoughts a little bit. I'll be more sane after Sunday when the show is over, and it's
I
gonna
will.
be great.
I will light a candle. Shameless plug for your show. Tell us about it. When, where, how do we get tickets?
By the way, totally unintentional. I didn't plan this at all. This weekend, Friday, Saturday, is this really great little festival that is a queer fashion party that also has burlesque and music and tarot readings and some other experiences throughout the building. And you can get tickets at dramacolumbus.com. That's DRAUMA. It's drama with a U. Because it's the sister party to Trauma.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, very exciting. Any particular date or time you're performing?
I am. I'm performing at 11 p.m. on Friday and 10 p.m. on Saturday.
Oh my God, 2 chances to watch.
Mhm.
And you can either have a 5-hour energy and go to the Friday night show or go to the 10 p.m. show. What a reasonable time difference. Thank you.
Stock up on vodka Red Bull. That's what I'm saying. Because
Yes.
if you're anything like us, staying up late is what? Hard.
What? Not something we do anymore.
Yeah, so I'm going to be on a lot of caffeine those nights. And, yeah. Also, if you're wandering throughout the building, because, you know, like, you don't have to just stay posted by the stage waiting for me to perform, although that is deeply appreciated. Boop, do it. But if you're wandering around the building, just, like, listen, just keep an ear open for the old-timey jazz music that doesn't fit with the rest of the show. That's how you
And
know
that
I'm
looks
going
good.
on stage, baby. Yeah.
Why do I look like a ghost? Wait.
I don't know. You're being blown out a little bit by the light. There we go. There she is. Mm-hmm. It was giving a little touched by an angel.
Okay, just went back to normal. Anyways.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Well, that's
This
so
is
wonderful.
lovely.
There we go.
Yeah, thanks for letting me promote my show on the dish.
I love that. Please, please go. I had to stay up this past week on a weeknight until 1:30 a.m.
How did you do it?
And I was not well the next day. Like, I was very ill.
No.
Like, I was so tired. I haven't stayed up and, like, been on my feet. You know what I mean? And, like, I was just dead. And I was like, remember when we used to do this every Friday, Saturday?
Barely. I barely remember how we did it because now, if I even think about 3 a.m., I want to go to bed.
Mm.
If I just think about it, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And we're getting older, so like I might not actually be able to fall asleep. That's the other problem, right?
Right. Yeah.
Want to sleep, can't sleep. It's a dangerous Venn diagram.
I can fall asleep. So like every partner I've ever had is like, you do drugs because you fall asleep so fast. And I'm like, nope, I fall asleep. Like it's just
And wait,
never had it.
Just every part I've had is like, you do drugs. And I was like, what's happening?
Sorry, you take sleep medication.
Yes.
Because I'll just be like, how was your day? And I was like, it's over. Like I can fall asleep on a dime. And I always have been, it's a talent. But I'm worried, right? As I'm getting older, I'm going to lose it because it's like literally I had to sleep in like an RV last Tuesday. And I was like, I just have to go to sleep. And my life is so weird. So I had to spend one night in an RV park. But I was like, I just got into bed and I willed myself to sleep. It was quite magnificent. Speaking of bad decisions.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for tethering us back to that. I was going to talk about sleep visualizations, and I think we should just proceed confidently on the agenda to what we are actually here to talk about.
What's next? Put in the minutes.
Yeah, let the minutes show that we stayed on topic, and it's only 13 after.
I think we're doing great.
Me too. I mean, look at us. How could we not be?
Yeah. And you know what? You are in a jacket. Because you're cold.
I am cold, and despite that, look at the definition on these shoulders. This is what the 80s was trying to do with those shoulder pads.
True. It's true. It's very svelte.
Thank you. She's giving, I don't know, Pelotonia? Patagonia?
Well, girl,
that's what I was looking. I was looking for Patagonia.
You were, but honestly, Pelotonia came out and we all went with it. You know what I mean?
Whenever I want to bike in front of my personal forest, I hate those ads. It's just like, I don't even have the time to go to the gym, so I just had a personal gym installed in front of my personal forest that I own. It's so gross.
Just saw someone on the gram selling their Peloton because they're like, yeah, no, just don't have the room. And I'm like, that's not true. That's not.
We all know that's not true.
but like, I don't like Peloton. But I'm just like, there's no way you don't have the room in a house.
Right.
It's not a room issue. It's just stupid. Anyways.
Yeah. So bad decisions. Don't buy a Peloton. Don't do it. Don't do it, Judy.
Speaking of bad decisions.
What else have we done that we regret?
Good. I have right in front of me. I have a spin bike, and that's what I bought. That was my like Florida move gift for me because I'm never getting on a real bike again. No regrets.
That's a very Florida gift for yourself because, listen, if I were moving to Florida, I wouldn't leave the house. I would barricade myself in, and I would just bicycle, facing the sunset. And I would just look at the little skeleton guy in my watch and be like, not long now. Just gonna pedal off into the sunset.
It's not an Apple Watch. It's just a little skeleton watch that you watch like it's an Apple Watch.
Yeah.
Like, oh, is that tracking your heart rate? No.
No, it's tracking my distance from the abyss.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You can't really see it, but yeah.
That's cute.
It's a little skeleton guy, and his hands point toward the time. So, girl. Yeah, it's great, isn't it? It's very me.
It is very you.
So, decisions that we regret, and we're not talking about custom framing. We're talking about things that we feel like inevitably drawn toward. I was talking to you recently about this like moth to a flame metaphor that I just love for myself, because I not only am I bad at taking advice I give to other people, I also do things that I would actively advise myself against. Like, don't do that.
Let's take the first one though, because I think most people give advice that they don't take. I don't think I think that's
sure.
I mean?
Yeah, that's
so
normal.
I'm gonna leave the hook on that. But the second one I want to hear more about.
Right. So here's the thing, Brooke. I know when something is a bad idea, but sometimes I don't care. And it's because, like, you know, I mean, there's a couple things at play, I think. One is I have a deep care and concern for people in my life and their well-being and their safety. But for me, I'm like, whatever, it's just me. You know what I mean? And that's not great, because you have, let's briefly touch on an example we talked about before on this show, which is you had a show at Dick's Den, and at the bar, I was talking to this really tall silver fox, and he was great. He was like, he had this great suit on. He'd just come off of work at, like, his work is like he's a sommelier, right? So that's already like, I'm already in danger, because you're sophisticated, you can carry on a good conversation, I can pretend to know about wine around you, and like, if you then laugh at my terrible joke about wine, it's over. We're making out. You know what I mean? So he had like untucked his shirt. You could tell he just clocked out of work, and he's getting casual, and he's at Dick's Den, and I'm like, hey. So we talked for a while, and then we shamelessly made out at the bar, and then in my head, I just skipped ahead to the part where he knew that I was trans, and I never told him about it. So, which, by the way, I also want to say, we should not have to bear the burden of disclosure, right?
Right. Like, you're in the moment and you're having fun, and it's like, you don't want to be like, all right, well, hold on a second. Like, it's exhausting.
Well, while we're here, I have some things I need to tell you. You know, you break out the note cards and like, yeah, like, that's not sexy. No one has to do that.
Like, here's the diagram. Does anybody have a PowerPoint projector? We need to just get a PowerPoint up.
My identity is slide 1. You know what I mean? It's that. And so, like, I know it's frustrating, but it's a thing that I believe anyway that you have to do, because otherwise, it's just risk mitigation, right? You're just right. Clearing out a lot of risk that is avoidable. So I skipped ahead, didn't think about that until we were in his car driving to his place on 315, and I said, by the way, you know I'm trans, right? And it was like one long run-on sentence, just like that. Like, just dropping it in there. You know what this is, right? And he goes, no. It's like so silent in the car, and I was like, oh, I have made an error. You know? And at this point, I'm like, well, you're in control of this experience. So, like...
Right.
And me being me, you know, when I get uncomfortable, I, like, shift into professional speak. So I'm like, well, I would like to remain safe. So the next... What happens next is totally up to you. Like, you know what I mean? I was just, like, really uncomfortably kind of getting, like, you know, diplomatic speak. And so he's just like, well, no, this is fine. And I'm like, is it? Because we could just turn the car around right now and take me home. So anyway, we fumbled our way through an awkward experience. Then he dropped me off at a place that was not my address, but a couple blocks away, because I didn't need any follow-up on that one. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. All parts of that felt like, let's just cut our losses and move on from that experience, right?
Right.
So that's a good example of how, like, we all do it. We're people, right? Like, when we're in the moment and we're attracted to somebody, logic may or may not be in the room. You know what I'm saying?
You left out the reason we were at Dick's Den, which throws me all the way under the bus. And what I love about you is you graciously leave out the part.
What do you mean?
Where I had a crush on the bassist of the band.
Oh.
And he invited me because he had a crush on me, and he was engaged.
Oh my God. Well, girl, you know what's terrible about this, and I feel bad forgetting? I honestly forgot about all of that. But when you have a teensy little brush with death, sometimes, like, that literally is now a core memory. You know, like, that is something I will not forget because I can't.
But I'm just like, when you're like, have you ever made a bad decision? I was like, that night, for me, was also a bad decision.
Got it, yes,
because
yeah.
I couldn't figure out why he was being all sketchy in front of his bandmates when, like, we had met one-on-one, and he was, like, totally different. And I'm like, why is he being so weird? And then I was like, Oh, they all know his fiance.
Right. Right. So
Right.
that's so that's an awkward thing for us all to discover and share. Like, how awkward for his band that they're like right in front of him as this is happening, and what are they supposed to do about it? Like, maybe just don't put your friends in that situation.
Well, right. And like we're out there dancing and I'm like making eyes at him and all his bandmates are like, who is this blues?
Oh no. Oh, that was a real Hello Nurse moment.
It was. It was not ideal. It wasn't great. I love a bassist though. They're the backbone of a band. So
I love a drummer. This is a very Sex in the City debate we're having, but let's lean in.
I don't like a drummer. They are too showboaty and they always want to be the center of attention. And I'm like, we get it. You know, he's a symbol. You know what I mean?
Oh no, but they always have huge arms and they're like losing some of their hair, but they like, they like played sports in high school, but they're still doing crunches, but there's like a nice, there's something on top you can grab and just yeah. It's not great, Brooke. I think all the things I just said are problematic.
Yeah, they're not great.
They're not great. We'll run it by PR.
I dated a drummer in high school, and I remember I like introduced him to my dad after a concert, and I was singing, and he was playing the drums. And my dad was like, "You can't date him." And I was like, "Why?" He's like, "He doesn't close his mouth. He breathes like a fish." And to this day, like when I meet a mouth breather, I'm like, "You breathe like a fish. I can't talk to you."
You breathe like a fish. Oh no! Oh no!
So wherever you are, Michelangelo Karuba, I hope you found your rose. It was not me.
Yeah. I'm actually really also attracted to femme drummers for a different reason. And I don't mean women drummers, I mean like femme presenting drummers. Mm-hmm. Obviously, but for any of you straight kids at home who might be watching. Yeah, exactly. We use
doesn't fuck with women.
Oh, well, I mean, stay tuned. I'm discovering a lot about myself in this stage of my life, but femme drummers I really love because they it might just be me, but there's a stereotype where drummers are typically butch presenting, and so when I see a femme drummer, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so against the grain. It's like in and of itself, it's sort of like disrupts gender, which of course I love. Did you know Selena was a drummer, or was it Selena's sister? I'm sorry. I didn't watch the... No. Selena was the singer. Her sister was the drummer. That's right.
Yeah, Selena's definitely the singer. I have a Selena story for later. Anyway.
I mean, like in the very, very early days. But I think she was the singer the whole time.
Yeah, she was the singer, I think.
Yeah.
Well, get in the chat if you're a big Selena fan, and we can find out. Topical.
Yeah. You might as well just take away my gay card now.
I know, yeah, you can't go. Oh my god, did you hear about The Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert is doing a sequel with the original cast?
Is it really?
Yeah,
I'm not sure that that's a sequel I need.
I mean, I'm gonna go see it.
Oh, I'm absolutely gonna watch it. I don't know if I need that sequel.
Yeah, I could have used a Tu Wong Fu sequel.
Me too.
But in the late '90s,
you
know what I mean? Still Pete Swayze, Snipes, Leguizamo, whole nine. R.I.P. Patrick Swayze.
I would just, what I would love is to see like Vita and Noxima and Chi-Chi like reprise their roles, but they take sort of a supporting role, and then they have to like grapple with this new school of drag with like less padding, less wigs, gender expansion.
Yeah,
and there's like this cultural exchange. Yeah, I want that.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah. But I would love for them to find a way to do it without, like, people being exasperated about pronouns, because I'm so over that. I don't want to see another 20 years of old people in film struggling with they, them. Like, I really don't need it. It's so exhausting.
It's so... whenever there's, like, a comedian and they have a joke, I'm like, not only is it lazy, it's not fun. Like...
Yeah.
I respect a lazy joke that's funny. I do. I've told them, I get it, I'm on it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And whatever. But when it's lazy and not funny, I'm like, I can't get behind it.
Then what are we doing here? Yeah.
God.
Yeah,
like,
I mean...
Here. It's just it's not even low-hanging fruit. It's fruit that has fallen on the ground and is rotted. And you're like, is this something? Like, it's not.
Oh,
it's not something.
Mary, it's gutted, rotted, and horrible. Don't do it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love when you're, like, watching a Netflix show, and there's like some aunt character who's talking about their niece or nephew who's recently come out, and they're like, and she was telling me, oh my god, you know what I mean? It's just like, who is this for?
Right.
I know the answer to that question.
You do know the answer to the question. It's not for us.
No, it's not for us.
Because we're just like, it's not that hard, and we're screaming at Paramount Plus.
Yeah, I can only break so many of my TVs, right?
Is that your drama number? Is breaking TV?
Yeah, I can't go back to Best Buy. They won't let me in.
I don't think Best Buy is open anymore, so I think you're safe.
Yeah. At least I didn't make a Circuit City reference.
Oh, R.I.P. Circuit City. Always
Rip.
to an old free buffet.
So bad decisions. I'm trying to bring us back to the...
Oh, yeah. Circuit City. Bad decision.
Yeah. Circuit City's bad decision. Oh my gosh, Brooke. I think I might reveal something that's a little embarrassing. One time I had a brief text situationship with a gentleman, and he shared his Amazon wish list with me, and I bought him a couple things, and then he ghosted me. It's so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing.
What?
Yeah, he gave me like this wish list of stuff that was like kind of like, you know, like sexy fun items, like the kind of stuff you might see at one of those what are they called? Those shows where like housewives go and sell dildos to other housewives.
Oh, yes. Nikki Winkleman has that joke about it. It's like a Tupperware party, but for inside you.
Yeah. It's like one of those, but it was that in Amazon wishlist form. And I was like, oh, this is fun. I'm gonna really like, you know,
pure romance.
Yeah, pure romance. It was a pure romance Amazon wishlist. And I was like, oh, this is fun. And it's not like it wasn't a lot, but I was like, oh, Mama's feeling expensive. And then he just like fucking ghosted me. It was so embarrassing.
I see.
You only make that mistake once. You only make that mistake once.
I can't even imagine if someone sent me an Amazon wish list what I would do. Like I would just be like, LOL.
Yeah. But once again, Brooke, there is a certain type of energy that works really well on me, much to my chagrin, because then I end up making terrible decisions.
Wow, that's amazing. Oh my God.
Learn from us.
Remember Sexapalooza?
Oh, who could forget? If you haven't been. Yeah.
Oh my God.
If you haven't been, Sexapalooza was a weekend conference that happened at Vets Memorial in downtown Columbus. So sexy.
It was like a concrete jungle of sad, like heterosexual couples in their 50s trying to rekindle something, and then like just like gross, low quality plastic sex toys.
Yeah. Being
hawked by like G-level celebrities from reality shows.
Yeah. And then you had a couple drag and burlesque performers that, to be honest, were just trying to get their check. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like back in that day, I was not in any position to be choosy about the bookings that I took, and so it was just kind of like, you know, oh, it's great exposure. That line works to a certain extent when you can't be choosy about what you're taking. It's like, yeah, I'll be in front of a lot of people. Are they going to care anything about drag or burlesque after that event? Absolutely not.
Why not? My favorite part of Sexapalooza was there was a comedian who had just gotten dumped by her girlfriend. So I was like, I picked her up, and I was like, we're going out to Sexapalooza to see you, I think.
Yeah, I have a picture of the three of us in the Sex Museum.
Oh, yeah, it was just like a pipe and drape area with like 4
with poster board.
Yeah.
Not even. Yeah. It's just posters printed out about, I don't know, what happened in sex, like technology and innovations. I don't know. It was interesting. It was a choice.
But the best part of that day was she had gotten dumped by another woman and was in the car and was like, or no, she had broken up with the woman, but the woman was trying to get her back and had dropped off a letter to her with like a vial of her tears.
Oh my God, I forgot about this.
And these are grown-ass people.
Bad decisions.
Grown-ass people. And it was so funny because, of course, this lovely young woman is heartbroken. And it's like, what is it? And I'm like, no, what's in the vial? Is it like Dawn soap? Like, how do you mimic tears? Like, what is the plan? Is it a saline solution? Anyways, I
eye
spent the
drops.
whole night.
It's just eye drops.
Well, eye drops are poisonous. So I was like, you got to try it. And she's like, well, what if it's poisonous? We went through a whole thing. She ended up trying it. She thinks it was just water. But we still don't know to this day. And it was probably the most dramatic way to try to get someone back I've ever seen that failed so beautifully. It was beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, that person, that's not a smart thing to do, by the way, because she's just really lucky that our mutual friend was not a witch. Because one thing you don't want to do is give a vial of your tears to somebody, especially if it was a bad breakup. Like, they're going to try to do something with it. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying magic is real, okay? That's the end of that thought.
Oh,
you be the judge. If magic wasn't real, then how do you explain this?
Oh, girl. Well, would you look at the skeleton? It's after 7:30.
Oh, what? Wouldn't you know it's time for my eventual demise?
Well, if you are in Columbus, Ohio this weekend, please see the most amazing Eileen Galvin Friday night at Drama at 11 p.m., Saturday at 10 p.m. Mm-hmm. So 11 p.m., 10 p.m., and then when are you doing tarot?
All night, both nights. So you can find me upstairs in the Red Room, which is what I'm calling my space. And,
love that.
We can get tarot readings or just, hang out and chat.
Love that for everybody. So please come through and support Eileen and send me photos because I bet she's going to look breathtaking.
Yeah. Girl, something else for you all to look forward to. Not next week, but I have it on good authority, but there may or may not be an in-person dish coming up in the future, so...
Oh, scholars remain divided!
So stay tuned, and until next time, we'll see you Tuesday nights for Lay Covered Dish. Good night, babies.
Bye, y'all.